this sloping roof.
And a landscape impact isn't going to,
No.
really, it's not going to impact on it, is it?
David, you've had a look at it. Any comments from you?
Do we know what proportion, well, if the footprint isn't changing, then the proportion of the total site doesn't come into play?
No.
So if, as has been said, there's no objection or concern from neighbours, then I can't see any reason why we should concern ourselves with it either.
You can say it's an improvement to the building?
I think so.
Well, I think obviously it's
Updates
going to be making better use of it, aren't they?
Yeah. Could I have a proposal for that then? John, what would you propose?
I think we approve it. It's an improvement to the existing building.
Prove actually to have
More amenities for the family. Yes.
Okay, so it's property improvement with better amenities. Seconded for that? Cynthia. All those in favour? Okay, so we accept that one. 0016. Oh yes, thanks David. Tap farm, yeah. If you look at might be, I'm not sure. Oh yes, that's good. If you can just the proposed building is the one marked in red, and I think what it's doing is just indicate, this red line is indicating the proposed route to the new building through the farm. It is an agricultural building. It's sloping roof, single story. I don't know if there's a structural, just to explain.
It's for the use of storage, straw.
We have just talked to David who works down there, and my question was, is this going to be used for cattle or whatever?
Yes,
And the answer is no, it is designed, I understand, to be used for storage of straw and hay, and therefore there should not be an effluent problem.
No.
And yes, the fact that it's further away from the buildings, it's to do with the
It's
fire
It's
risk.
well away.
That's why they're doing it. Moving it
So it's a basic agricultural position.
Yes.
So,
I don't think it's a problem.
okay. So can I have a proposal for that then? Yes, Malcolm.
No,
Do you you propose that we accept this application on what basis?
improvement to the amenity of the farm.
Okay. Let's see that moving in fast. Seconded, please, Cynthia. All those in favour of it? Thank you. Okay. Can you get Bob back in there, David? Thank you. Thank you.
I can schedule any of these windows in.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, it's really hot.
Really
So
hot.
you opened the door.
They're all-
Open the window.
Can we open that door? Can we open that door?
Locked in, so quite
Okay, can we move on please to our reports, item 6. Bob, would you like to give us your county and district report?
To be honest, Chairman, it's going to be pretty short tonight in the sense that in terms of county, I gave the update at the annual meeting, which was only a couple of weeks ago. There's no real update on that. In terms of the district, as you'll know, the elections took place on the same day as the parish. Andrew and myself were returned as the 2 ward councillors. In terms of Sedgemoor as a whole, the Conservatives are still in control. They have 28 of the seats. 20 are held by the other parties, so there's a majority. At the moment, we're going through the same process that the parish council did earlier on of signing up to be the councillors. Committees have not yet been fully sorted out, so in terms of committee membership, that's not known yet. As our chairman and the executive, that's all yet to be sorted. So it's very much in flux at Sedgemoor at the moment, and we'll obviously update you in due course as and when we know more.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob. The report, anything to report on footpaths? I know it's early days yet, but anything, David?
The fence at the top of the knoll, which is ongoing, the post and rail on the last bit before we meet National Trust.
Yeah, the...
Have we got a quote on it?
Are you referring to the path that runs from the lower Kissing Gate up to the...
Well, both of them really have got issues.
They're both broken.
But the top one is falling down.
Well, the
We
guys...
did ask someone.
Yeah, we asked Dave Welland, but the guys that did the new styles at Crooked Lane, i.e. Precedes people, was a guy called Mike Watts of Countryside Contracting Limited, and his mobile is 07941 824 193. If shall we talk about it and try and arrange a meeting with them, because he knew the area, and also probably we can try and reinstate our contacts with the National Trust guy to see if they can do some of the steps. So I think we'll start to concentrate on that, because Dave Welland was supposed to give us a price and just didn't do anything. So I think he's Chrissy's man, so he must be good and trustworthy. Yes, Bob?
I raise a couple of issues that have been raised with me by local residents. Crooked Lane, where we did the surfacing, there's been reports of motorbikes and quad bikes using it. It was really just to ask people to keep an eye out on it over the next few weeks as the weather gets better, and whether we can just check whether the gates are still in place that should be stopping them coming through from Burnham.
They could always go round that horse gate.
We might need to just look at what
Put
needs
some
to be
fencing.
done. Also, I was contacted by the landowner who has the path that runs from the two ends of Battleborough Lane, asking if we could help with some extra signage. Particularly, he's had problems with campers who have been walking the footpath and then trying to get to the knoll. There's then a sort of plateau area where they've been camping overnight with no permission, and there's no way to knoll up that route either, so that's been causing a bit of an issue. But also he's had people up there with dogs and has had problems with sheep, being worried. Some of them have ended up in hedges and he's had to get them out upside, where they've gone upside down in the hedge and couldn't get themselves out. So again, ideally if we could look in due course at maybe some signage to, as we have done elsewhere, to say no route to the knoll so people know they can't go up that way, and highlighting the footpath where it is so they can stick to it.
I'm not sure I'm totally in favour of the area. Are you in favour of it, John?
Yes, I know. Well, I haven't been there. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
There isn't a logical footpath from. Well, it's really from Buttonville, just on Buttonville Farm, isn't it? Battleborough.
Yes.
Battleborough, and they think they can go up, but there isn't a path like that.
Okay. Well, John,
No entry on this set.
can we make a note? I'll meet with Bob. He can explain it, and then I'll report back for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's one more if I could, sorry. There's been an issue that members may have been aware for a while of the footpath that runs from Coombe Side to the church. It's basically it's a footpath that goes behind John's land, comes out of Coombe Side, and then you go on the road until you get to the church and rejoin the footpath. Technically, it's been found that the footpath was never diverted from its original route, which should run directly from the corner of John's field to the church, which goes through the centre of at least a couple of people's houses and around 3 or 4 other people's gardens. So what they're looking at doing is rerouting the footpath. The landowner concerned has got it costs about £2,000 to do. They've approached county who have to do it. County have offered to meet him halfway and pay half of the money, and they're talking to the other landowners and householders about finding the balance. But I think what we've done as a parish in the past is help landowners with gates, and they're talking with Chris East about supplying gates potentially. So it was just whether or not the parish council could help again, as we've done elsewhere with installation, which will then reopen that path back up. It will actually then go across the field that is in front of the manor house, so you won't have to walk along the highway.
It'll go behind the curtilage of the houses then, will it? So you have to...
No, so you bring it in front, it'll come along Coonside, it'll then go up the drive.
That's what I meant, yes, you go back, and then behind the houses,
behind
up to
Cedar
the
Close.
corner by the church.
Yes.
Yes, I know exactly.
So,
Mills Rock is right.
so we need to do anything immediately,
No.
or just wait?
We just need to hang on at the moment, but I was asked to raise it with us. As I say, there's a sort of combination of people trying to make it happen, because it's basically an error that happened back in the 1960s when the estate was built. It should have been done then,
So,
and it got lost in translation
so
somewhere.
if we just make that an item. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Anything else on footpaths? Okay. Malcolm, anything on highways?
The only thing that I've got to report is that there's been reports of dumping of food waste and everything else on various roads, particularly Hart Road. I can now report that it's been cleared.
Thank you. Anybody else got anything on highways of any concern? No? Okay, thank you. Right, who did the green inspection?
Sorry, Chairman, it's me. It's just an update. Visited the green on the beginning of April, beginning of May, did the inspections. Generally, it's been very tidy. People who've been using it have been looking after it well. There's not been very much litter on there. They've kept that tidied away. The fence at Hollies, with the storms that we've had, has broken the actual fence posts. I mean, that's not something that's on it's not our fence that's gone, it's the neighbour's fence, but it's something I'm sure they'll have to deal with before too long. The play equipment is in good order, although some of the paint is rubbing off and looking a bit tatty. Car park was generally tidy, toilets were looking really good, and have been well maintained. I've mentioned the clerk, one of the toilets in the ladies is running away slowly, but I don't know whether that's a problem or whether it's just the way that particular toilet is working. But as I said, I inspected it again a couple of days ago, and at that stage it was also still looking good. And I think it was Malcolm reported at the last meeting the lock had been broken. That was back on place in the gents' room.
Okay, thank you.
One thing just to mention, maybe looking forward, in terms of the new chemical toilet that's in the gents, it seems to be working well. No odours, and the ventilation is working well where they put the vent in. But actually on the ladies now, that's not quite so pleasant, because there actually is no vent in the ladies' loo. So the fact the door closers are now in place, the door is shutting, it's not being aerated at all. So we may have to look at doing a vent in there at some point.
Okay. I'll have a look at that.
Can I just raise the matter that was raised to me, which was apparently last weekend, the ladies actually had considerable amount of graffiti on the walls around the inside of the building. Now, I don't know what it's like now. I haven't seen it today, so I have no idea. Don't go into that.
That's spelled right.
I'm sorry?
It's spelled right.
But anyway, that was all reported to me last weekend. So I don't know whether perhaps we could check it out, I guess.
Well, years ago we used to have a lot of it in the gents toilet, didn't we? And I used to come up and paint it over every time. So they soon got fed up with it, so they didn't do it. But I could do the same again if you like.
Well, let's have a look at it.
Yeah.
And see.
It's Brian.
So Brian, that's fortuitous then. It's your
I'm usually July.
Sorry?
I'm the new time, I'm
Well,
usually.
I took a random
June,
shot at it,
no, it's
actually.
me, actually. June.
Well,
It
basically,
doesn't matter.
the current rota ran up to April. From
No.
May, it's a new rota. So
No,
what I did, I
well,
took all the councils and just sort of went like that.
Well, I'm one of the few people who read the rotor, so you've got an extra.
I won't be here next meeting because we're away on holiday. So it might be a
Well,
good idea
okay, you
to-
do it and I'll do yours.
No, I meant better if you did it, surely.
Okay, so John is taking over from Brian.
I
Yeah?
won't be able to report back, will I?
No, true.
That's
So John is swapping with Brian.
Thanks, John.
That's
Thank
fine.
you. Okay.
You know,
Nothing else
my
on
rota wouldn't last very long.
green toilets, car park? Okay. GB Sports.
GB Sports, you should have had an email from GB
Yeah.
Sports regarding, there's nothing new on there, nothing that we don't already know about. And I guess one of the items on the agenda is, later on, is what items we're going to carry forward for the new council year. Whether play equipment is one of them, because there are a number of smaller items that need attending. So, you know, we'll deal with that later on.
Okay. Parish surgery. Anything from this afternoon?
We had two people, didn't we, this afternoon?
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we must have gone. She'd gone before I arrived. And it was to do with the dog bin that we removed a couple of months ago, opposite the school. And apparently there'd been something in the BKN which had criticised the moving of that dog bin. It was the resident themselves that moved it. We didn't move it, the resident moved it. But I did point out to them that one of the things that the council need to look at is our whole, perhaps, spread of bins and dog bins and general bins around the village, and whether they're all in the right places. And maybe that's something that we need to consider in the future. But that one wasn't really an official bin anyway.
No.
And was being used for dog feces rather than what it was there for, which was rubbish. So that was the only visit we had this afternoon, so I said I'd report it to the meeting.
Okay. Yes, sure. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, on
Yes,
the
right.
parish surgery issues, we said very rarely do we get anybody. And David mentioned it about how it was advertised. It's advertised in the BKN, isn't it?
Yes?
It's on the website.
Yes?
Is it anywhere else?
No.
Wonder
Two places. We could probably put it on the notice boards.
put a separate
Roger.
square in the BKN advertising it a bit more than what it's for.
Okay, well, put something else in there to communicate that a bit more strongly.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Brian. Emergency planning group. I think you're going to leave that until we've got full members, and then we can thrash it out properly. Police crime speed watch SID updates.
This is a new area. Because obviously in the recent past we've had a number of things that have cropped up under different headings. I thought it was probably a good idea to bring the police, crime, speed watch and SID all together because they're all related in some ways. And obviously we should be getting police reports from Sam Piers, the PCSO. We should be getting regular reports now. We haven't had one recently, I don't think. But we should be getting them. And then of course there's the issue about long term, about what we do with SID, and we've got speed watch issues and ongoing really crime. So that's an ongoing header which perhaps we need to look at each month if you're happy to do that as a council.
Well, again, we've got to decide what we're going to do about the SID or replacement SID going forward.
Forgive me, what is SID?
It's
Speed
a speed
device.
indicator device,
Light flashing.
which unfortunately met its end in a rather violent fashion. We've tried to repair it, and poor Richard struggled with it, but it's really not suitable now, I don't think. I mean, if I just stop the meeting, and Richard, would you like to tell us what your feelings are on the SID and our replacement of such a unit, and what you feel about it?
Yeah, the current unit is, I think somebody asked me whether it was serviceable, and as far as I could tell, by checking it out, it did work. it certainly wasn't impervious to water, but it did work, so therefore its length of serviceability was questionable. Then we got the question as to the state of the batteries. It needs 2 sets of batteries, which I rotate. I change the SID over, and 1 set of going down. And I suggested to the council if they wanted to maintain the current SID, as long as it lived, we needed some new batteries. And that's when it went into hyperspace, so I heard nothing.
Okay.
I did make a recommendation that if you did then want to replace it, there were some different units, probably better units, available now, which is 3 or 4 years on, of course, which were probably priced even slightly cheaper than the one that we bought at the time.
Richard, could I be presumptuous and ask you to report back to us on what your current feelings are, what the current models are available, and then we can make a firm decision to do something about it in terms of replacement and correctly monitoring the traffic flow, speed flow, etc.
Yeah.
So,
I think that was an important element that was missed previously. The council decided for whatever reason not to buy the software to be able to derogate the raw data and put it into meaningful graphs, which will be useful. So if you're going to collect the data, you don't have to collect the data, but if you want to collect it, it's got to be done in a way which is actually meaningful.
I think.
So that would be my recommendation. As far as the actual units are concerned, I have done a little survey. It was probably 2 or 3 months ago now, but I can start to pull that back together again. And I also liaise with Somerset County Council, because they presumably are not using radar locks anymore. I don't know whether you've got any information on that. But radar locks have again gone into, well, they're totally in Germany now. There's no UK representation. And I noticed the East Brent SID doesn't appear very often, does it? So presumably they're not having a great time with it, are they?
I don't know.
They are active and being used at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's. I think you tend to cover a bigger area. Because they're on at Rooksbridge and in different places on the A370 all over the place.
But Rooksbridge is rather well covered at the moment by more official means, isn't it?
It's very well covered, believe me.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just see what your recommendations are. Please include the software provision so that we can make meaningful use of it. Is that okay, Richard?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
While you're out of the meeting, because I'm on Burton Road, you know.
Yes.
And it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I stand up with my yellow coat, like that. But this afternoon we went to Mark, and they've got kill your speed signs. That the police have, it's got police notice, and then it's got kill your speed. And I wondered whether we could go down that route, perhaps for the roads that are sort of peripheral to, you know, in Brent Knoll, but still.
Okay. Thank
I don't know. What they are.
I must admit, I don't think we know, but we'll try and find out for you.
I'll add one thing on that. Most SIDs now you can program to give whatever particular signal you want, either a speed sign, a speed limit sign that flashes, or a message. So I think that's probably
no.
What
This was a card. This was a card. You know, they have them on the
just a static card without any.
Well, they have them on the
LED.
lamp post and on the 30-mile-an-hour limit
okay.
Post. Just I think they've been about before, so it's just a. You know,
thank you.
Either plastic or whatever.
We'll try to find out for you. Thank you, Richard. Okay, I'll close that now and open us again.
Mr. Chair, if I might just sort of interrupt.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry. Just for reference sake, East Brent logged 2 vehicles on the A370 between East Brent and Lipsham at 134 miles an hour.
That's interesting.
What's it, bikes?
We've got no identity of the vehicle, but we can only presume.
It's crazy. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Okay, can we resume our meeting, please? So, we're going to have an update from Richard on the SID, and we're going to try and find out about kill
your speed, it says, and it's on the 30-mile-an-hour limit roundels, you know, the signs.
Owen, can you point us in the right direction?
Yeah, certainly. I'll look at that and see what
Okay.
you can find.
Clerk's matters.
I have nothing to report actually, other than to congratulate members for being elected. And we have a new council.
Thank you, Owen.
So really.
Thank you. Correspondence received. Any correspondence?
No, there's no correspondence received. That has not been circulated by email.
Thank you. Moving on to item 8 then, finance and to approve payments. Do you want to take this?
Yeah, I'll take that through. Yeah, basically we've got statutory payments. Now statutory payments are those payments which we make on a monthly basis and which are agreed in April of each year and include salaries, tax and our 2 contracts, which is Jason Mayo and GB Sports. So they are the sort of 4 items that we regard as statutory and as I say are agreed in April. And really for the purpose of David, if you want to see a copy of that, I'll certainly email you a copy of those statutory payments. I'd probably like to see. Other variable payments, Richard Young is our internal auditor, an invoice there of £20. Wessex Water account from September to March of 12482, which is very much in line with previous years, same period.
Sorry, the Wessex Water.
Wessex Water for the toilet.
Oh, right, understood, thank you.
The SALC, we're members of SALC, and our 2019-20 subscription is £330.27. And we have 2 honorariums for Amanda Reason and Rebecca Durston. These were agreed at a meeting back, I think it was in November, John, wasn't it? So we should give our 2 gardeners an honorarium for the work they do in making our
just to explain to David, we did establish decent signs at the 3 entrances to the village, and for a long time we had a flower bed in front of the one, the main entrance there, 38, and the lady gardeners, which is Amanda and Rebecca, took it on as volunteers, and it's gone on from there. We are 2 established, David and I are going to put 2 small beds in front of the 2 entrance signs coming in from East Brent and from Barrow, quite small beds, and they are going to be planted up. We've made an arrangement with Sanders Garden World that they would supply us plants, and so that is very good. And because both the 2 girls were giving up their time and then moved on to looking after 3 beds, it was decided by council that they should be given just an honorarium of 100 quid each for the year. And they will continue to do it. The 2 beds, which we're going to do it, aren't we, David? Yes, we are.
John,
I can get to.
John, I had a conversation with Amanda this week, and I had a message from her today that they've been down to
Sanders.
Well, Sanders, we call it Sanders, to get some plants today, and essentially they failed to get them, or they would not give them to them as was agreed, because they said they'd been doing or supporting other organisations, and therefore they hadn't got any left and they couldn't support Brent Knoll. So
I'll go to the manager.
Yeah, after discussion, they did give them some plants, which they are now going to put in the one at the entrance to the village. So I think we just need to either, you need to go down.
We need to clarify that.
Clarify exactly what they're going to do.
Otherwise, they don't do it. And we have decided that we're going to plant a hut, which is a great asset to the entrance to the villages, but we're going to have to find some money from somewhere. So perhaps it's a good idea for the next couple of days I get down there, have a word with the manager, see what is going on before we trace the beds. So you're off the hook for a day.
There you go. Qualified that, got you off that one, haven't you? Yeah. Thank you, John. So can we make a note that John will follow up on the flower beds, please? Okay, so that's gone through all the statutory payments and the variable payments.
Yes, and variable payments, and we've also got the bank signatures. Now, bank signatures for our Unity Trust banking, we shall need to have a look at some point. Although at the moment we have 7 signatories, or actually 8 signatories. So there's nothing we need to do that's desperate on that. But at some point we need to decide whether the whole council is going to be a signatory or whether it's going to confine it to some members. It's however you feel about it. We will also, which is not on here, but we do need at some stage to look at internet banking as well, because we've been dragging our heels a little bit on this for a couple of years. It's becoming increasingly the way forward now for organisations, even parish councils, to get involved in internet banking. So during this forthcoming year, I'm going to propose to the council that we have a serious look at it to see whether we can't do some things by direct debit rather than cheques, and also whether we can have qualification of payments made by internet rather than the way we do them at the moment, basically. So that's that one, and also the other.
Can you put that on the agenda?
That's on the agenda. That's on there already. Yeah. Okay. And then the updated budget in your packs I gave you that earlier on. There is an updated budget in there, but it only comprises of 1 month because our new financial year starts in April. So we've only got 1 month of payments. So it doesn't actually tell you very much at this stage. But it's in your packs if you need to raise it all.
Thank you, Eric. We haven't voted on the payments, so
no, we need to do that.
Can I have a proposer that John and seconder David, that we pay both the statutory payments as agreed and the other variable payments that are outlined to you.
Okay.
Got a proposer and seconder. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. Matters for consideration. First bus extension of services and coordination with East Brent Parish Council. Can somebody outline that one?
What it was is this was an issue that was raised at East Brent Parish Council because First Bus had announced they were moving over their summer timetable, which includes every 30-minute trips coming out of Burnham to Westham. And the suggestion was made that they would like to approach First Bus again to say, could we look at maybe some of those being rerouted through East Brent and Brent Knoll, because they all currently just go through Lymsham. I said that I would raise it with the parish council here as well, because obviously it would make a better approach if it's coming from both parishes rather than just the one. And so if it's really a request to members for us to write in support of East Brent's request to see those moved, because again, those who live on Burton Road will be well aware that every time the roads get blocked going the other way when they've been doing Giga Clear, the buses have been being rerouted through Brent Knoll and East Brent, but it's not, so it's physically possible for them to do it. It's just a question of getting First Bus to agree to do it. So any pressure we can start to put on that would be positive.
Okay. So
To write
Owen, and does he know who he's got to write to? Is there a contact?
Or can I get it from
To be honest with you, well, to liaise with Jim, the clerk at East Brent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is that all right?
Yes, fine.
Okay. Thanks, Owen.
Do you want to make that a formal proposal?
Yes.
To do that?
Do you want to propose that we do that? Seconded, David. All those in favour that we write? Good. Thank you. Considered or deferred matters to be considered from the June meeting.
Yeah, in the pack I sent out earlier on, there's a list in there, in the back of the list, with all of the items that we have been discussing over the last few months and which we had decided to defer to the new council in May. It was, I thought it a good idea to identify which items we wish to take forward and which items we don't see any mileage in, if any.
Oh, can I just check, is that the thing, current list of outstanding?
That's it. Yeah, that's one.
Where's that? Right at the back.
It looks a bit like, it looks a bit like that. Here we are.
Oh yeah, matters outstanding.
These are all items that, as I say, have been discussed over the last few months, probably even longer in some cases, especially item 5. Defibrillator.
Well, I think I don't know what the fellow councillors all those just need to be addressed as to, in our next meeting, as to whether we take them forward or not. So I think it's probably put them in, and we'll, because we did discuss further use about the telephone kiosk, didn't we? Yeah, we did discuss CPR training, SID replacement, which we talked about with Richard, speed watch, defibrillator, village surrounding. Yeah, all these are important things we need to address. So, yes, is everyone happy that we carry those forward? Yeah? Okay, yeah, thank you, Owen. Okay. Matters of report. David, generally, what we do, we go around at the end of the meeting to see whether anyone has any business which can't be brought up at this meeting, which needs to be deferred to the next meeting. So, generally, there isn't a great deal, because we've got a list anyway, but we just go around everyone, and I think you'll get the idea. So, John?
No, thank you.
No? Cynthia?
No.
David? Brian?
Sorry, yes.
I would like to say something, actually.
Oh, no. Okay, Cynthia. Yeah.
Sorry, it's really nothing deductive. To say thank you for the style and the gates over the railway lines.
Oh, that's
They
very
have
kind
been
of
going
you.
up because
Yeah.
it's been a good 3 years, hasn't it?
It has been a long time. Yeah.
And I have been over twice actually, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. You know, your dogs can get over, and children as well.
Yeah.
That's the main.
Yeah. What we do need, David, is that load of hardcore for Sally
It's dry
Wingates.
enough, it's going.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
Do we need to put that as an agenda item to approve the money to be set aside for
Oh,
it?
okay. Can you put if you just put Sally Wingate's
Yeah.
gate? We'll
Yeah.
know.
Well, there's 2 gates in there, because we said we'd do the one off the end of Bodies Lane and
Yes.
Gate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tibbs.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Tibbs.
Oh, Tibbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Tibbs.
Yeah. Is that all right?
Call me
Thanks.
Mr. Tibbs.
Okay, your turn, Brian.
I expect you all had a letter about the state of the post office and the shop,
Yes.
and I just wondered if we could have any input as a council in some way or other, in perhaps drumming up custom, but I know it's really difficult. It would be a terrible shame if it closed. It looks a bit likely to.
I agree with you there.
If anybody's got any ideas, it's something to think about.
Okay. Can we bring that forward? Can we have consideration, future post office and village shop? David? Anything? No? Okay, thank you. Bob? Nothing from me. Our next Merry meeting is the 5th of June, and thank you very much. One item, just congratulations to Andrew and Bob for getting re-elected to Sedgemoor District Council. That's very good. Thank you. Our next Merry meeting is the 5th of June. I look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
So I have 2 people to check the signing, please.
What's my code? Certainly not. Thank you very much. I'm going to wear it.